ਡੰਡਾਉਤ ਬੰਦਨ ਅਨਕਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਡੋਲਣ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ तेरे जोर मैं गूंगा कहता हूँ तेरा सदका तेरी शरण सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी। फिर बाबा आया करतारपुर। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। धन साहिब श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी दी गुरु खालसा साध संगत। We're blessed again to be gathered together learning the teachings from Bhai Gurdas Sahib ji through their vara, the vara that have been blessed as the key to understanding Gurbani and Gursikhi. Sahib Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji has reached Kartarpur. Kartarpur is the place on the border of India and Pakistan. It is the place where they, after their travels, they came to rest. Let us hear from Bhai Gurdas Sahib Ji what teachings they gave at that point. How did anything change? If it did, let us focus on this body, this 38th body, and see the teachings from Kartarpur. सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी। फिर बाबा आया करतारपुर। So Baba Sahib Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji has reached Kartarpur. Pek udasi sagal utara. So the robes, the clothes that they wore, the udasi robes, which are those robes that you'd imagine a recluse, a fakir, a peer, a saint, a sadhu to wear. They've taken those off. What do they wear instead? Pehar sansari kapde. So they put on clothes of a sansari banda, a gristi banda, a householder's banda. Now in those days, a gristi would wear white clothes, white kurta pajama, let's say very simply, just for us to understand. And they're the clothes they put on at that time, because a gristi would wear white. In this day and age, we don't associate white chola or white kapde or white kurta pajama with a gristi. We associate that actually with a sadhu, with a saintly person. But in those days, a white kapda was, white clothes were worn by a gristi. So Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji is wearing those white clothes. Manji baith kiya avatara. So they sit on a manji and they spread their teachings by sitting on the manji. And as we know, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji sits on a manji sahib. So Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji sat on a manji and they gave their teachings from there. Ulti gang bahayon. So just like a river cannot flow backwards, say Bhai Sahib Gurdas Sahib Ji is using this metaphor as the Ganga, which flows in one direction, started to flow in the opposite direction. It's near impossible. What it is impossible for a river to flow in the opposite direction. And what do they mean? Gur Angad Sir Upparatara. So Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji blessed by Lena Ji and made them Guru Angad Dev Sahib Ji. So whereas everybody used to bow down to Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, now they bow down to Guru Angad Dev Sahib Ji. And why is it ulta? It's ulta because anybody, any king, would always pass on their crown, their throne to their sons, to their child. But Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji didn't pass it on to their sons. They found the true Gursikh who came, who was already blessed by Lena Ji, and they became Sri Guru Angad Dev Sahib Ji. So that's why they're using this metaphor as the river flowing in the opposite direction. They've done opposite to what normally happens. Putri Kaulana Palleya. So the sons of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, Baba Sri Chand, Baba Lakshmi Das, they didn't obey the hukam of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. Man khote aki naseara. They would remain in ego. They turned to the teachings. They thought they were special. They never followed the hukam of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, as Bhai Lena Ji did, who obviously became our second Guru. Bani Mukho Uchariya. So what did Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji do? Through their mouth, they recited more Gurbani. They sang more praises of Waheguru. All the Gursikhs did Sadh Sangat there, and they always used to sing the praises. Hoiru Sanai Mite Andara. So Roshni happened. Light became, and Mite Andara, darkness was dispelled, and light would spread all over. Gyan Gosta Charcha Sada. So Katha would happen, not just Kirtan, Katha would happen, Charcha. So the descriptions, the disposition of Gurbani would happen there at the same time. Anhad Shabad Uthe Tonakara. So the Anhad Shabad, the singing of Gurbani Kirtan would happen. So Par Brahm Hua Sahai, Katha Kirtan Sukhadai. Katha and Kirtan would happen at Kartarpur. So Dar Arti Gaviye. So the Maryada, the discipline of reading Sodar De Shabad, that's Rera Sahib Ji da part. The first four Shabads would be sung up to Stit Sarvarade. In the evening, Arti would be sung. And in the morning, Amrit Vele, Jap, Uchara, in Amrit Vela, Japji Sahib, and the morning Nitnem would happen. Obviously, over time, our Nitnem has become Panjbani in the morning, Sampurn Rara Sahib Ji in the evening, and Kirtan Soila before we go to sleep. But the Nitnem practice started at that point. Gurmukh par Atharban Tara. So the Gurmukh was blessed and they were saved. The par of Atharban, the par, the weight of all those teachings from the Veds of Karamkand, that was taken away. But Atharban can also be translated to Asah, so something that we cannot take. The weight that we cannot take was removed because Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji gave us a Nitnem to recite. They gave us Sadh Sangat to do at the Gurdwara, and this is how they showed how we should live, by living as a householder in Kartarpur. So they were showing us how to live our lives even today. Live as a householder, live in the world, Naam Japo, Kirt Karo, Vand Ke Shako, do your Nitnem and do Sadh Sangat every day. If I've made any mistakes or offended anybody, I beg for forgiveness. Sadh Sangat bless me so I can continue sharing the teachings and I can understand these teachings of Bhai Gurdas Sahib Ji, so I can understand Gurbani and Gursikhi better. Deho sajjan si sriyan Jehovah Sahib su me lekha katahna shutiya khen kin pulanhar baksanhar baksle nanak par utar gurmukh par athar banatara. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh.
Meri